All right. I think we're live. How are y'all doing tonight? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I know you can't see me yet. We're creating a little suspense. Just give me a thumbs up that we're on and we're good. Let me know if the music is too loud, or let me know if my voice is too loud. Just let me know. All right? Okay, checking 1, 2. Let me get this up a little for me. Here we go. All right. Are we good? Is it happening? Are you guys here? All right. Here we go. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? So glad to see you guys here. Much love, much appreciated. My chat isn't working, so I'm just trying to figure out if everybody's cool here. All right. Well, it says there's people here, so I think we're cool. All right, awesome. There we go. There we got some action now. Hello. We got Shusha in the house. What's up? Joshua's in the house. How you guys doing? Shusha, thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight's going to be a little special, kind of like a Halloween thing. And I thought we'd talk about some scary stuff. So, the world is in a really crazy place right now, and there's a lot of things that we can be afraid of. There's a war, and rumors of war is one thing. We have AI on the brink of being here, which is going to radically change everything in ways we can't even comprehend. We've got all this conspiracy stuff going on where we can't make heads or tails of what's real and what isn't real anymore. We don't know who to trust. Our media has failed us. The press has failed us. Our governments have failed us. And it seems as though the entire world is starting to crumble and fall apart. Feels that way, right? Uh-oh. I'm getting an error. It's telling me that something happened and the thing crashed. So let's just see. It crashed on my end. I'm not sure what's up. Hopefully we're good. Let me know if we're still cool. Nope. Oops. Sorry, guys. Oh. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because on my end it's telling me it's not working. So I just want to be sure before I cut this thing off and move on to the next one. Just give me a heads up, yes or no. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with this one today. Good here? Cool, awesome. All right, it's giving me a notice that it's not working, but good, I'm glad we're on. So where was I? We're talking about scary stuff. You guys scared? We got Christine in the house. What's up? Vedant in the house. Molly's in the house. You guys are so amazing. I love you guys so much for hanging out. Yes, you can hear you. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to ignore the messages on my end that say it's not working. So I'll just pretend I don't even see it. So are you guys with this? I'm always trying to use letting spirit kind of guide this a little bit. And but I feel like we are... Hi guys. So do me a favor. If I want you guys to just type in the chat if there's anything that's... Michelle's in the house. Hi. Just type in the chat what is anything that's scaring you, the stuff that's might be on your mind. And the whole point of us bringing up this scary stuff is because it's Halloween and that's kind of fun, right? Spooky stuff is always fun. And then the other reason is because we're going to find a way to deal with all that stuff tonight. We're going to put all of that away in a sense that you can have compassion for what's going on. You can acknowledge the fear in you that's happening. And with acknowledgement, you can find a way to deal with it and rise above it, so to speak. And realize who you are, what you are, and what fear is, which is false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. Why is it false evidence appearing real? Because nothing is real. So how are you guys doing from the last episode? Excuse me while I do this. The last episode, we got into some really, really crazy stuff. We got into satsang and non-duality, and I essentially threw you in the deep end, which is a very traditional Zen thing to do, which is the first time a student comes to a teacher, and again, I am not a teacher, I'm just like one of you who's got questions, and I'm curious about things, and I dive into things. I tend to tackle things in a huge way. So, yeah, and I've been researching a couple of books. I've published 2 books on this subject, so I've dove into these things quite extensively. So going back to this, so Satsang and Zen, when you're first learning Zen, traditionally you're thrown into the deep end, which is what Satsang is. And if you can swim, great. Guess what? You're in it now, and now we're good. But most can't swim. And it's kind of funny on one part. It's kind of laughable to see people. My lovely sisters in the house, Jody, how are you? And so we dive into this deep end, and most can't swim, and it's perfectly normal not to swim. And if only 1% of the people who were watching last week got what I was saying about the eternal present moment, then I would be so delighted. I can't even tell you. You have to think about this teaching as not a teaching. It's a gnosis. It's an unveiling. Because you're doing all the work. All I'm doing is pointing to it. I'm just going to point to it and just keep pointing to it. It's this invisible thing. It's right in front of your face. You can't see it, but I'm just going to keep pointing to it, right? And there it is, and there it is. And then eventually you're going to see it. I don't know if, I was really terrible at algebra when I was in school. And it just seemed like I couldn't get it. And I felt like I was pretty smart otherwise, but algebra just didn't really click for me. And finally, I got tutored after school and started working on it, and it was like this eureka moment when it clicked. But it was just goggly goop on the board, just a bunch of numbers that didn't make any sense 1 minute, and then suddenly there was this snap, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's easy. This is easy. But prior to that moment, there was no understanding whatsoever. There might have been sprinkles of understanding, sprinkles of gnosis. Just like with this teaching before last week, you might have gotten sprinkles of understanding, sprinkles of truth being revealed to you. But it's hard to take it all at once in one gulp. It's really, really hard, and most people can't do it. But I had to have hope that someone in there might be able to jump in here with me. So we got everybody. It was a nice little crowd here tonight. Thank you very much for hanging out. Are you guys cool with this topic? Are we good? You want to give me a thumbs up? Be like, hey. I got, let's see, Atlas. Where's Atlas? Is he hanging out with us tonight? Yes, he's over here hanging out. He's very camera shy. He's striking. He wants to get paid more, and then he'll show face. But up until then, it's not happening. See, I'm trying to get this thing happening for you. And let me know if the music is too loud for you guys. So, the great apocalypse now. The apocalypse. For those of you who don't know, the word apocalypse actually just means unveiling. It's to reveal the truth. It's to reveal something. To reveal something that was hidden. That's what apocalypse really means. And we can apply it to what's going on now because, yes, the world is in this extreme turmoil, but there is also this great revealing that's being unveiled for us, right? There's this new gnosis that's coming in sporadically, and we're like, I didn't know that about the government. I didn't know that about this. Yeah, that eclipse was a little bit weird. And all these little weird things, right? And then we have this conspiracy land that comes out, and then it shakes the foundation of what we can think reality is, because there's suddenly a question of everything. We're just suddenly, we don't know what to trust anymore, and our foundation is being shaken, right? It's being shaken, and that is an uncomfortable feeling. And then we can compound the issue when we can take a broader look at what's happening, which is we're in fifth dimensional warfare. This is like this is a whole new way for countries to go to war. And on one sense, we could be happy that there's it's probably going to mean less loss of life. I don't know, supposedly, but really the point of war, if I'm going to try to rationalize it within the dream, is it to give government power by motivating the people behind them, right? They need to get the people of their country motivated and on board with what they're doing, and they need to see the power of those people come together, which is a show of force to have power over other countries, right? So it's all about manipulating the people, right? That's really the whole point of war. And they do that through dropping bombs until finally the people have had enough. And they're like, no, we've had enough of war, and then the politicians are forced to, resign or, come to that point of agreement. So the power that what I'm getting to is that the power is in us. The power is in the people. And the power is being taken by those in power, and it's being harvested from us. And this new style of warfare is all about propaganda, and it's all about lies, and it's all about distorting the truth and using all these different digital means of doing so, right? We can't trust videos anymore. We can't trust any audio anymore. We can't trust any articles anymore, right? A lot of weird uncomfortableness there. That's very, very scary. Where's all the conspiracy people in this little thing here? No conspiracy people here tonight? Where's my flat earthers? I certainly get a ton of you guys in the comments. I'm a no earther. I'm a believer in that there's no earth. There's just this eternal dream pretending to be the earth. And that's the point of what I'm getting to. We're going to bridge these two things tonight. Satsang Zen and all of these scary things that's going on in the reality around us. All the stuff that's got us up at night. And to realize the truth. To realize the apocalypse of now. So, apocalypse of now, and not referring to the Francis Ford Coppola movie from the early 70s, but apocalypse now, which is a very profound idea. It's the unveiling of the truth, here now. Because only here and now can it be unveiled. And let me suggest to you that the reason we're in this weird predicament in the world today is because we're all awakening. We're all awakening. It's this blossoming of consciousness. And as a reflection of that, veils are being dropped. And those veils are the veils of what reality is. And reality is built on beliefs. And if you take apart the word belief, in the middle of the word is the word lie. Because that's what a belief is. That doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good because that is how immersed we are in this dream. That is how much we have mistaken it for the real thing. We believe in the lies. It's exactly what we're doing when we believe. Because realization has nothing to do with believing. It's knowing. It's the confidence of the Christ that you know 100% what's going on. And that's where your power is. All of your power is in the present moment. You have absolutely no power at all in the dream state. And the dream state is your waking state. The dream state is where we are 99% of the time. Our mind is lost in consciousness. We think that we're here. And I say, oh, find the present moment. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. I don't know what to do with it now. This is great. It doesn't change anything. It's because you're not here. You might be here. Your consciousness here, your present moment awareness might be here to a small degree, but a large part of your consciousness is still thinking about your family, your jobs, all the stresses in life. Those are pretty much the most powerful forms of energy that seduce us into our minds. It's this underlying fear of what's scaring us. And there's nothing wrong with feeling like that. That's evolution. We've evolved to be these kind of thinkers. If you weren't worried about the tiger in the woods that's going to eat you, you probably weren't going to survive very long. Certainly not long enough to have children and procreate and move along the line, right? So, I'm going to take a little drink of water. I'll give you an exciting shot here. Nope. Atlas is still not participating. What an amazing crowd. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Lady Spellbreakers in the house. All right. I'm glad we're on the same page about Flat Earth, I guess. That's good. Flat Earth is a psyop. If you're caught in that, it's a psyop. Just like most things are psyops. The war today is all psyops. That's what it is. It's grabbing your mind. And that's all it's ever been. It's never been anything more than that. Now, we can detail things out and get into like, oh, well, there's these soldiers that died over there, and there's this terrible thing happening in Israel. And let me just preface, this is not to, this is not to make light of the situation that's happening over there, right? Lynn, how you guys doing? What's up? Aries, hello. It's not to make light of that, because in the dream is very, very real, right? We're in the dream, and we're here to play our part. And there's no not leaving. There's no leaving the dream. There's no leaving the matrix, right? The matrix is part of what life is. So when we're speaking of respect to the matrix, there's a respect and there's a compassion there for those who are in it. But we don't have to be in it. You leave the matrix through your mind. The gateway is your mind. And the matrix is not in the future. It's not some sort of virtual reality that's built by machines in the future. It's not even a machine, so to speak. We're already in it. It's a dream within a dream within a dream forever, with no base reality. There never was a base reality anywhere. Just dreams forever. So when I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor, there's an acute awareness that I've just shifted from the previous dream that I was just in to a new dream that I'm in right now. And that's the dream I'm in right now that I'm speaking to you all. And you all are part of the dream. And I'm a part of your dream. How cool is that, huh? Very, very cool. Well, I think the music got stuck. I'm going to say if it did. But, so getting back to what we're talking about, I lost my train of thought, sorry. I'm going to get this thing down where I can focus on the chat and talk on the camera, and I'll get better at it. America Aries Sun says, we don't get to graduate ever. I didn't say that. You definitely get to graduate. You can graduate right now if you want to. But it's hard to do that. It's very, very difficult because we've set up all of this karma already in our ignorance, and that karma pulls our attention back into the dream, and that's why we can't stay here. So you ease that karma just by doing acts of kindness and love, and the more things you can do in love, and the more things you can do to focus on loving things, then that is what the dream is going to become. And when the dream becomes love, then the dream isn't pulling on you anymore. It's not tugging on you as much, and it's much easier to stay in the present moment. But only in the present moment are you free of the matrix. It's the only place you're free. Now, if you want to drop out of the matrix, you can drop out right now if you want to. It's easy as pie. No big deal. Just decide you're not going to be a part of it anymore and move to some ashram somewhere. I'm sure they'll take you in, and give up all of these things, and there's no judgment, and they will love you very, very much, and you'll probably be very, very happy. I've considered it many times, but I don't think that that's what we're here to do. That's just my opinion. You tell me I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I think that we create these dreams to integrate with them, right? Play the part. Otherwise, it's just a big waste of energy. There's also a clear realization in my mind that where we are is both heaven and hell at the same time, because they are one and the same thing. It's a matter of focus. I can focus on the hell, and the more I focus on hell, the more my life will become hell. And if I focus on peace and love, my life will become more of peace and love. It can be no other way, because it's a mirror. It's a mirror to whatever you focus on. That's the only way reality will present itself to you. But you have to get the energy out of the previous karma that you've set up for yourself. Boy, I love that you guys are just chatting away in there. So is this pretty scary? I think it's all scary. Yes, it's all one, Lady Spellbreaker. It's all one. There isn't any separation. Any separation at all is an illusion. It's like a puppet here. This is a person, and then this is a person, and they're just talking to each other, right? And this is life. But the truth is, both hands are the same being, right? It's the same puppet master. Your karma ran over your dharma? That's funny. Funny. All right, so getting back to the scary story. There's a scary story of all this craziness going on. So we've got this world coming to this crazy head, right? And we are fast approaching this mysterious thing called singularity, which we could focus on here as from a human perspective as technological singularity. But that is the below to what the truth is that's really happening. And what I want you to see is that because you're waking up, part of waking up is you're shedding these former beliefs. You're dropping these other beliefs. You're dropping all these little beliefs that you used to have about what reality is. As you've lost faith in the media, you're dropping that belief in them. As you're losing faith in the governments, you're dropping that belief in them. And as you drop these beliefs, what we're doing is A, we're creating the great apocalypse for seeing the truth, and B, we are breaking down our own boundaries of what reality can possibly be. Right now, our reality is very, very limited because we're limited by, our parents, our job, our government. There's all these limitations on what reality can be. But because we are waking up, we are blossoming into this new reality, this new way of perceiving things. We are breaking down all these boundaries within ourselves. As we raise our kundalini up through the chakras, we are breaking down boundaries. And because it's as above, so below, so as above is in here, and the below is what's out here. I'm going to show you here. Metaphysical and physical. The inside is your heart, right? And there's an outer. Because it's breaking down here, it has to break down out there. It can be no other way. And it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. Anybody who's going through this spiritual awakening, as I'm sure most of you guys are, there have been a lot of scary moments, right? A lot of what the WTF moments, right? Like, what is going on here, right? Not even knowing what to do with that. And just as that went down like that, it's going to have to do that into the real world too. All of the real world's going to have to break down in this very uncomfortable way. But this is the dissolution of all boundaries, because we are waking up into a space of no boundaries. Cosmo Girl in the house, what's up? Hello. We're breaking down all boundaries. So that's what has to happen. That's an uncomfortable thing. If you think about like the metamorphosis of a butterfly, it creates this cocoon around itself. And people don't really realize it, but the insect breaks down all the way. A lot of times they just think that the caterpillar just grows wings or something, but that's not at all what happens. The caterpillar actually dissolves into this liquid primordial goo. And then from that goo, a butterfly is born. And this same transformation, this same metamorphosis is what we're all going through. Everything we thought about reality, everything we thought was real, everything that we thought was important is being stripped down, disillusioned down into this primordial goo, so that we can all be reborn as this magnificent butterfly. And right now we're in the primordial goo stage, which is why it feels so uncomfortable. But have faith that we're going to become butterflies, all of us. Yeah. So, oops, here we go. So getting back to all of the scary stuff that we're dealing with in life and we're taking in, I want you also to pay attention that all of the scary things that we're aware of in the back of our mind, none of it exists in the present moment. Not one thing. Not one thing. When you're here now and you turn off the TV and you turn off your friends from talking about these things, and you're turning off all the rumors and all of the stories, when you turn the stories off, the now is so peaceful. It's beautiful. I was at the park today, out and walking a trail, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The leaves were all turning, and it was just breathtakingly gorgeous. And now if I went home and turned on CNN, I would see a very, very different reality, because my focus would be on a very different reality. But instead I was focusing on the beauty of the woods and the trail, the beauty of being out of breath and walking and getting my blood pressure going, and all of that is where my focus was. And just like that, all of the problems of the world have gone away. And then the ego says, well, that's not being very responsible. Tend to your garden. It's the only garden you ever have to tend, because it's the only garden that exists for you. Everybody is in their own personal soul bubble. We're all living our own little tiny dream life. It's in a bubble. And it's just an ocean of bubbles forever. And each of our bubbles is our own personal reality with no validity outside of the scope of the present moment. And every now and then, your bubble and my bubble tap and they connect, and we share these really interesting moments together. And the reason we share the similar moments is because we're vibrating at the same level. You ever noticed if you meet somebody who's not on your level, or I shouldn't say on your level, but on your frequency, it's really, really hard to connect with them. It's like what the things that they're focused on, you kind of can't even get into. It's just like, wow, it's like you can't understand how they could see the world the way that they see them. And then we find that frequency for our personal taste not desirable. And that's what it's like when the two frequencies meet that are dissimilar. But it's an ocean of bubbles, and all of them have their own unique frequency. But some frequencies are very similar and close to it. And we tend to connect with other people who are on frequencies that are the same or very, very similar. So these frequencies sound very, very mysterious. It's like, what do you do with this frequency? How am I raising my vibration? How does that sound how does that make any sense? Think about it like a radio, all right? Especially the old-fashioned kind of radios where you had to tune them in. You turn the dial, and you get a radio station. It's nice and clear, right? Comes through. And then you turn the dial a little bit more, and it changes the frequency from 100.7 to 100.1 or whatever it is, and it keeps going up. And as you're going through the radio, there's static in between the stations, right? So it's a station, and then it goes up a little further, and then it's the static. And then the new station comes in. That's your frequency. That's a perfect metaphor for what our frequencies are. And some of us are on different stations. We're not all listening to 100.7. Someone else is listening to 92.9, another person is 96.1, right? Nothing wrong with that. You like rock and roll, I like dance music. You like classical music, I like opera. You like jazz. That's it. They're just different realities. That's the simplest way to think about it. And it's important to think about it that way because you don't want to bring a hierarchy into it. It's not that I'm raising my vibration so that my vibration is superior to your vibration. And that gets into the NPC thing that we hear about so much. Everyone's like, oh, those are NPCs. Those are sheep, right? Don't listen to the sheep. They're NPC. They're non-player characters. They don't exist. They're not real, right? Can you see how dark that is? Can you see how that can become the new racism? It's really, really important to get a hold of that. And all of that is a fruit of the New Age community, which has been hijacked by the adversary. Again, it's not the Freemasons who are hijacking New Age. It's not the Satanists. It's not the deep state. It's the adversary who infiltrates all things that are good and corrupts them, which is why you have to have really, really keen discernment. The easiest way to think about spirituality so you can navigate your way through this, if it is pointing to anywhere outside of you, it's not the truth. If it's pointing to anything that isn't love, it's not the truth. Those two things are the same thing. Love is synonymous with God. It's synonymous with Brahma. That's why that's why God is ever present. It's everywhere. It's in everything. Because it's love. And love is everywhere and in everything. Because it creates everything. It's the eternal substrate to all reality. We call it the ether, or we call it Brahma, or we call it God. But it's the energy of love. Why is it love? Because it's not jealous. It's not comparing anything that we any of the quote-unquote sins that we can associate with the chakras. It's not dealing with any of that stuff. It's unconditional love because there's no judgment at all. And there's no judgment and there's no restriction because it's infinite. It's infinite time, infinite energy. It's all just a dream. Why would there be any judgment for someone's dream? Just have your dream. Whatever your dream is, it's fine. You do your dream, I'll do my dream. It's all good. It's all good. We got a nice little crowd in here. Marcus is in the house. What's up? Hello. Thanks for coming in. You know, a lot of people are concerned about the Freemasons. You know, the conspiracy stuff is like, oh gosh, the conspiracy of the Freemasons, and then we get into the Satanism and all that other stuff, and that's just the adversary doing its thing. But the Freemasons aren't necessarily Satanists. I would say there's probably a potential for a few bad apples in that organization, probably at the highest levels. But the general principle of the Freemasons is just another form of this kind of gnosis. It's the esoteric gnosis. And we see these things as evil because we don't understand them. And we think of magic as evil because we don't understand it. And for the people who know magic and for the people who have esoteric wisdom, these things were kept secret. And as a matter of fact, they were labeled as things that were dark and evil so that you'd be too afraid to investigate them because they don't want to share that power. They don't want you to know. And what I mean by that, I'm just going to show you something real quick. I'm going to show you this. So like this is like the Freemason symbol, right? So everything is about yoga. You know, you do your yoga, I'm going to do my yoga, right? And yoga just means union with the divine. And there's a million ways to get into the divine. Some people can do it through actual yogic tantra, performing those kind of rituals. You can do it through running. Some people get there through sex. Some people get there through their work. Some people get there through art. Some people get there through prayer. Some people get there through all kinds of interesting ways, right? But if we can remove the judgment, you just do your yoga. I'll do my yoga. There's no judgment. So the reason I brought that up is because the Freemasons use this symbol, and it's got the compass and the square. And what this represents is it's the masculine and feminine coming together. The masculine is represented by the square at the bottom there. And it's all has to do with geometry. So geometry is the union, it's the yoga for the Freemasons. They get there through geometry. And you can, just like you can get there through yoga, just like you can get there through LSD, just like you can get there through meditation. It's just yoga. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to use their geometry and putting it into everything. They're trying to imprint the God, divinity, into everything, because fractality is what is divinity. So what these two things represent is the square represents Euclidean and non-Euclidean geometry, which is just another way of expressing the masculine and the feminine. So straight lines are obviously masculine, and curvy lines are feminine. So when we look at geometry that utilizes both those types of geometry, the Euclidean and non-Euclidean, it's the bringing together of the masculine and feminine, which is what the entire esoteric teaching is. It's to bring together the mind, the left half and the right half, into one thing. It's to become one thing. And the left brain is typically the analytical mind, and the right brain is typically the artsy mind, the creative mind, the explorative mind. The right brain is the feminine mind, and the left brain is the masculine mind. And when you can find balance between the two, you're unlocking the door to the final veil. And this is what esoteric teaching is all about. And they get there through rituals. You can get there through geometric rituals. You can get there through all these different kinds of things. So that's what they're all about. The G in the center of the Freemasons, it does not mean God. It means the general principle is what that represents. The general principle. And no one's going to tell you that. But that's what it means. The general principle you'd understand once you understand this gnosis. It is the key to understanding all of esoteric wisdom, which is nothing exists. That's the key. That's the general principle. It's that you are the one. You are God. You are the one. So is the pen on this desk. It is too. So are you. Each and one of you are God. You're the God of your bubble of reality, and I'm the God of my bubble reality. And outside of that, there's a greater God. There's even a connection of all. There's a greater all to this. So I say all that to just learn to look at things a different way, and to find ways for us to collect ourselves a bit when we get lost down all these rabbit holes of what is true and what isn't true. And to bear in mind that there is a real agenda by the adversary who is dressed up as the deep state and dressed up as the devil and dressed up as all these other crazy things to pull us out of this, right? To make us question our reality. So I hope you guys are getting this. I like to ruffle feathers. That's my favorite thing in the world to do. And that's what a shaman does, a true shaman. And I know that people get offended by, white people appropriating that term. And the way I look at it is this, we are about to go through the most significant event in the history of humanity. Do you not think that Mother Nature would have filled up this planet with shaman who can see very clearly to guide us through all of this? There are shaman all over the world in every single culture. They've always have been. And they're not recognized because we've become a society that doesn't recognize those things anymore. But if we do listen to what the shaman are saying, we can learn to see the world a different way. And that's what a shaman is. The truth of what shamanism is when there were tribes, there was always a one person in the tribe that was picked to live outside of the tribe. And this is typically the witch doctor or the medicine man or the visionary, or, there's a lot of different names for it. And that person would live outside of the tribe. And the role was to study the tribe from the outside looking in. Because when you're on the outside looking in, it's a very, very different picture. Is it not? Right? It's very easy to tell your friend what she's doing wrong or he's doing wrong in their life. It's a very, very easy thing to do. And we all love to do that. We want to help, right? Because we can see it very clearly when we're on the outside. It's hard to see things when you're on the inside. And that's the role of shamanism. That's the whole point. So I like to think of myself as that, just because I've got a unique experience. And that unique experience has allowed me to see the world in a very different way. I feel as though for many, many years, what seems like many, many years, of being on the outside looking in. And when you're on the outside looking in at culture, everything is very clear. It's very, very clear. And you can sense that I know that it's clear, which is why you're here. You feel it. You may not understand exactly what I'm saying, but you all feel the truth in it. There's this underlying feeling of truth in it. Because this truth is the real truth, and it can't be hidden. It can only be distracted from. So I'm here to just show you these things. And again, I'm not teaching, I'm just pointing. I'm pointing to what's right in front of you. And the power is in you. When you see it and recognize it, you're going to awaken in ways you can't imagine. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm doing it I'm doing it my own unique way, which is free of dogma. I think that dogma is the reason why the message isn't getting heard. And every teacher wants to put their spin on it. They all want to put their fingerprint on it, and I'm doing that too. But I'm recognizing that the fingerprint being put on it is what is causing that separation, and it's making it so hard for people to find a way to get into it. I'm not saying that that the Hindu way is the right way or the wrong way, or that Buddhism is the right way or the wrong way, or that Christianity is the right way or the wrong way. Everybody's right. It's all talking about one thing. But I would like to talk about it without using any of that stuff, any of that dogma. It's unnecessary. I can use everyday language to point to the same thing. And when I use everyday language, I think it's going to be easier for you to see it. Joel's in the house. What's up? Thank you, Joel, for showing up. Awesome. H. Anderson is in the house. Nice little crowd here tonight. So, in the words of Terence McKenna, who was a very, very famous, brilliant psychonaut, he reminds us that culture is not your friend. And I want you to really take that in. Culture is not your friend. Culture is a tool of the adversary. So create your own culture. This is what authenticity is all about. You create the culture of you. You decide who and what you are and how you want to express that without pretense. That's what I'm going for with all this insanity on the outside. No pretense. No hesitation. Not any hesitation on what I should be or how I should present. And there is. I still deal with a lot of that stuff. But embody that within yourself too. No pretense. I don't really care what people think. I just do what I do. And I do it with love. And if you can get with that, great. If not, then, piss off. With love. So I wanted to show you something. Getting back to the apocalypse. So, and the here and now. And seeing the truth of reality. And I went to lunch with my sister today, and I had this conversation with her. And she was kind enough to let me kind of rehearse this whole thing tonight on her. And I came up with this analogy to kind of illustrate what the here and now is all about. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Yikes. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Shout out to my friends over at the Sugar Hill Gang, my brothers. What's up, guys? I'm borrowing your record. So, for all of the people in the audience who are under the age of 30, this is a vinyl record, and this is how we used to play music. And the way this works is you would put this record onto a player, which would spin this record, right? And there are songs. There's 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs. All the songs are here. And a little needle would ride the edge of this record, and it would pick up the vibrations of the song, and it would play that music out onto the speakers. Modern technology, right? So I'm showing this to you because I want you to realize something. This is the perfect metaphor of what your bubble looks like. Your bubble of reality is like just like this. And this is your life, and it's my life, but it's individual lives. This is one person's individual life. And the needle goes on the record. And this first song right here is your root chakra. Okay? And again, these are the chakras. These are your energy centers. And no, they're not inside the body, but they're centered inside the body. But they're actually much bigger bubbles, about 3 meters, each one of them. And they're centered inside the body. Okay, so each of these chakras are a song on this record. Okay, I'll put the graphic back up again. So this would be your root chakra, right? I'm going to put it here. This is your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, third eye, crown. I skipped the throat, sorry. Throat, third eye, crown, right? And the needle got on the record when you were first born, and then we were playing the song of the root chakra, and it's a really long song, right? And we're playing the song, and that song is all about security-based issues. It's all about very, very earthly things, and that's what that song is about. And that's the lens through which we look at reality. And then the second song is about the sacral chakra, and the attributes to the sacral chakra are all about independence. It's all about sovereignty. So that's what that song is about. And when you're listening to that song in your life, and you're in that sacral chakra, that's the lens through which you're looking at life. And then that song ends, and the needle moves forward, and we're in the solar plexus. Are you guys with me where I'm going with this? Right? And the solar plexus is all about boundaries. That's what that song is about. It's all about boundaries. It's all about boundaries and willpower, and getting your willpower up, and learning how to trust your gut, trust your instincts, trust your intuition, right? That's what that song is all about. And then we, can I spin the record forward? Yes. That's about the best I can do. So, yeah, we're in the solar plexus, and that's the song of that. And then you get into the heart chakra. It's about love. It's about love, but it's mostly about loving yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself, was what that song is really about. So where I think we are is like a collective. And when I say collective, I say it this way. Where my reality bubble is, and where the awakening is for my personal dream, for my personal soul, is I feel like I'm in a transitory phase of going from the heart song to the throat song, and then into the third eye song, right? And the reason why I feel like that's what's happening is because that's the song that's playing in the world out here. It's the whole world is of having a voice and about veils being dropped, which is what the third eye is all about. Dropping the veils to see clearly. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So again, this is the bubble of your life, right? You play it. And then as you get to the inner part of this vinyl here, you're playing the seventh chakra, the crown chakra. And then you start to see the truth of what's happening. And then singularity happens. We get right to the whole of the record, and we fall right through. We fall through into the nothingness. And that is called the 0 point. If you're a scientist and into math and all that kind of stuff, that is the 0 point. It's the still point if you're a meditator. It's the eternal present moment in the teaching of Satsang. It's the now. That dot is the now. So what I want you to see is that we're not going somewhere. We're not going from the past to the future. We're going from ignorance to gnosis, from lost in the dream to finding the center of the dream, finding the present moment, the here and now as it really is, without the pretense, without the mind drifting into a never land of possibility. And that's all the world is just possibility. You put the power into what it is. You put the power into what it becomes. It's simply possibility. And it becomes more of whatever you're focused on. You guys with me? You cool? Saved by the 0 point, yes. Sorry, my foot just hit the thing. Oh, I have all these cool shots. I'm trying to give you guys entertainment, but I keep forgetting to hit the button. But isn't that awesome? Okay. Atlas still's playing shy. He's not doing it. So, you know what's really, really interesting about this vinyl is that, yes, I'm old enough to know what it's like to make music for vinyl. But when you make music for vinyl, if you have a song that is very bass heavy, you have to arrange your production so that that song is the first song on the vinyl. Because as the needle moves inward, it's unable to produce those kind of heavy bass tones. It's not able to do it. The vibrations are just too big, and they're happening too fast as the needle moves in. So again, it's another mirror. It's another perfect analogy to make what I'm talking about even more real, because the root chakra is associated with very heavy bass. It's associated with all those things that are heavy and big, right? And it's so true that that's what's happening on the vinyl. So when I point to that kind of a thing, that is fractality. Yes, this is an analogy, but it's also a fractal of what's taking place. And everything you can think about, everything is an echo of something else. It's all echoes forever. Michelle's in the house. What's up? Gotta love synchronicity. Yes, synchronicity is my favorite. Is it not? Don't you guys love that? Don't you love that goosebump feeling when synchronicity unfolds? It's so beautiful, right? It's awesome. So, that is what I wanted to get into today. And I wanted to just be able to talk about that and get you to see all of the scary things that we're dealing with right now, and to see it in a new way, and for you to realize that you have the power. Whoops, sorry about that. I keep hitting the thing with my foot. That you have the power, and their power is your power of focus. What are you going to be focused on? So when you're at work and there's someone at the water cooler talking about all this crazy shit that's got everybody all upset and worried, and we only share those kind of things because they're fun to talk about, right? We get a nice little dopamine hit when we hear about something new like that. So when you find those people, make the decision if that's what you want to focus on. There's nothing wrong with listening to it and being informed. That's always a good thing. But decide where you're going to place your focus after that. Because wherever that focus goes, that's what the world's going to become. More of that. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to lighten our load. We're trying to lighten the load and walk the walk of Christ, and be love and light in our hearts, and not be carrying all that heavy stuff. You don't have to carry it. Let someone else carry it. It's not your responsibility to carry it. Carry what you can carry. Carry your own stuff. Have compassion for the people around you that are suffering. But if it's not in front of your face, work on your dream, work on yourself. This is the mindset in these turbulent times. And you're going to be tested. I mean, this is just the beginning of things getting weird. It's going to be very, very strange. It's going to be very, very uncomfortable. And the dream is good. the more that you get closer to this, the closer you get to this still point, the harder the adversary is going to work to suck you back into the dream. The adversary wants your soul. And, don't get scared by that, because it's all just a game. We're in a video game, okay? It's just a game. So the closer that you get to the center, the closer you get to the still point, the harder the adversary is going to work to get your attention, to suck you back into the dream. So crazy shit's going to happen in your life, and it's going to demand your attention. But as it's demanding your attention, hold on to your power and remember who you are and what you are, and that the power is your focus. So if the adversary presents a scenario that demands your attention to get sucked into the dream, be responsible, because you need to ease that a little bit. But while you're being responsible, be aware, be self-aware. That's what you have to do. Be wide awake through it. You guys are awesome. Be wide awake through it and recognize what's happening. And that's your power. So I have this little diagram I want to show you. This is from my new book, The Devil's in the Details. And it's a diagram I made. And for the three of you out there who might be able to understand this diagram, it really is the answer to everything. This is really enlightenment in the form of a symbol. I've worked on it for a long time. There's a lot of mental hours put into that. And it's to realize that you are the Om. You are the center of that record. Right? You're the center. And each one of those rings, if you look at the details, are the things the adversary is going to use. These are like, call them the rings of belief, right? These are the rings of belief you have to break through to get to the Om. Freedom is outside of those rings. That's freedom. And it's also freedom at the very center. The very center and the outer part is the same thing. They are one and the same. The reason that they are one and the same is because it's a toroid. And everything in the universe is made of toroids. Everything. There isn't one thing that's not made of a toroid. From the macro to the micro, to the smallest particles, elementary particles, to the biggest, craziest galaxies you can imagine, they're all toroids, and they all behave this way. Every thought you ever had, every game you've ever played, every person you've ever met is just a walking donut. And yummy. So, and as we go through life, these are the main barriers to how we see the world, right? So if you can, feel free to take a picture of that or something like that. And it's a good thing to meditate on. If you guys are into meditation, it's cool to do that. It's cool to meditate on that, and you will help you see things in new ways. Cool. Oops, we lost the music. I can start it again, but I don't know if I can do that. It's gonna be. But how's everybody doing? We're good. We've been on here for about an hour. Do you guys have any questions? If you have a question, this would be the best time to drop it in here. Let's see. Oh, my new book, Ladies Fall Record. Thank you very much. Again, this isn't about selling books, but if you want to support me, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. If you are tight on cash and you want to read the book, just hit me up. I'm happy to send you a link for free. And the new book is called The Devil's in the Details, which is a very, very powerful title if you can allow yourself to understand what I'm saying. Because the details are what the dream is made of. It's all made of details. And when we can let go of details and just get the gist of the dream, then we're closer to God. We're closer to the center. When we detail things out, all of that complexity is what the adversary is made of. It's made of complexity. So when we can let go of that complexity and just be present, and just live in the moment with ease and grace and without fear of where it's taking us, and knowing that wherever it's taking us, it's completely safe. Even through death, even through death, because there is no death. Death is just an illusion. It's the doorway to a different matrix. Yes, and Joel is helping with me with this. I do have printed versions of the book. I have a couple hundred here, and I've just been so busy with Phi Tribe, I haven't had a chance to get the website up and to be selling those. But yeah, so just hang tight. In the meantime, if you want to read it, I'm happy to send it to you. I'll get my act together here. Yeah, I worked very hard on it. The first book that I wrote took me about 1.5 years to write, and the second book took me over 10 years to write, because I really had to go down this rabbit hole of esoteric wisdom, and it's not the kind of thing that you're going to learn in a year. It just isn't. It takes time to not only digest all of that information, but to integrate it into what it really is. So you guys are so wonderful. Is there anything you guys have any questions about what I talked about tonight? Is there anything that you guys want to get into? Because now's the time to say it. I'm really, really happy to get into it. How did everybody do from last week? Was there any synchronicity? Let's see here. Michelle says, why do I think only some become awakened within the dream? Lucid living. Fascinating how and why it happens. If you're ready. I don't know. It's kind of like asking what caused the orange tree to blossom and bear fruit. You know, the tree is there, but it bears that fruit when it's ready. Not 1 minute before, not 1 minute after, right? And I know that can be painful if you're with people and you might be waking up and they're not. And it can be very, very uncomfortable. It could be very uncomfortable too if that person that you care so much about shows no interest in learning these things and doesn't want to know. I know that can be difficult too, because this is such a beautiful thing, that knowing it's the kind of thing that makes you want to cry just in love every day and gratitude. And it's painful not to share that with somebody you love. You want them to have that feeling, and you want them to be able to see the world the way you see it. And that can be hard sometimes. But we're all here for different reasons. We're all here to experience different things. And as you awaken, you'll be changing your frequency. Your frequency is going to be moving to a different radio station. And you're going to notice people are going to fall out of your life. It's just, they're naturally going to fall away. And they're not going to be conscious of why they're not speaking to you anymore. It's not going to be a conscious thing of, she's a bitch or he's an asshole, I'm not going to hang out with them anymore. It's just an uncomfortableness that they can't even articulate. And they're just not going to resonate with you, which is what it gets down to, because frequency is all about resonance. And when the two frequencies are harmonic with one another, they're attracted to each other. They want to hang out. But when they're dissonant, they don't resonate together. And it's like a bad note in a song. You want to get rid of that bad note. It's just not to toss somebody out in the trash. It's just to say, look, you're not resonating with me anymore. Get on the train or not, you know. But this is where my train is going, and I hope you can join me. What's up? What's up? All right, Monica's in the house. Hello, hello. Awesome. I'm glad you guys agree. Are there any more questions from anybody they want to talk about? You started noticing the prevalence of 11s in 2004? Awesome, Michelle. Yeah. That's really, really cool. Yeah, the 1111s is definitely the beginning of, it's the sign that you are on the path. Right? It's to let you know that that to me is the most important one, that first synchronicity. Because when you start to notice it, what happens is you start to see 1111 everywhere. Like maybe every time you look at the clock, it's 1111. And then you go to the store and you buy something and the receipt says 1111. And then you go to work and there's some file that comes across your desk and that file is 1111. Excuse me a second. That is the universe getting your attention. And what's so beautiful about that is that no matter what your faith is, whether you have the faith that you're an atheist and you have faith in being an atheist, or you have faith in Christ or faith in the Buddha or faith in these teachings, whatever your faith is, up to the point when you start seeing 1111, that is the first time you're really seriously questioning your reality and really seriously questioning the source of God, because it's communing with you. And that's a very heavy idea. That's a very impossible kind of idea. Nonetheless, it's very apparent, is it not? For those of you who have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's far beyond any kind of point of possibility. And defying those odds is how you know it's divine, because it can't be explained any other way. H. Anderson says, I've been observing this insanity shit show my whole life, looking forward to getting to this shift. Yes, I totally understand. Me too. That you always knew was going to happen in your lifetime. You're 62 years old and getting a wee bit impatient and cranky. I get it. I'm 53, so I understand. This is what it is. It's going to blossom when it blossoms. I have a feeling that it's around the corner, because if you think about it in the sense of as above, so below, technological singularity is around the corner. And I believe that technological singularity is a reflection of inner singularity, personal singularity, and that the two are intertwined in a timeless, shapeless state of all-knowing gnosis. It's an infinite intelligence that's transcendent of time and space. And because it's transcendent of time and space, I think that we're all kind of feeling this shift coming. That's what we're feeling. This big feeling is this singularity that's happening. And I don't mean it in the sense of transhumanism. I mean it in the sense of we are reaching singularity. We are reaching this point of singularity in our personal lives. And as a reflection of that, inside the dream, there is a singularity of technology happening. But it's just singularity. It's in the word, singularity. There's nothing else. And because there's nothing else, it's impossible to see beyond that point of what it is. We can't see anything beyond that point. It's like trying to see what's beyond the horizon of a black hole. We just don't know. I don't know. I suspect I know. I suspect I've visited those places on psychedelics, and I'm sure some of you have visited it in your own yogic way, the astral realm. But it's only a suspicion. So, is everybody cool tonight? Everybody having a good time? Are you all dressed up? Oh, we have another person, 51 in here. Michelle, she's 51. Yes, awesome. See, we're all a bunch of Gen X representing, right? Happy eclipse. Yes, wasn't that a weird eclipse, guys? Pretty strange, huh? Like where was the moon before the eclipse? A lot of weirdness with that. A lot of weirdness. I don't know what to think about that. And I was talking with... we were talking about the weirdness of the light today. It was very, very strange outside, right? Aries full moon. What's up? All right, I'll just try to read some of this stuff. Yes, everyone is on a different frequency and seeing from different perspectives, and we all have a bit of a fuzzy vision. 100% true, Lady Spellbreaker. Yes. True. Well, I love that we are all about the same age. It's awesome. We are all old enough to remember what it was like pre-internet, which is so cool. Gen X in the house. What's up? Full roller Sarah. What's up? Shusha's 59? Really? Well, you're very young at heart, Shusha. Very young at heart. Awesome. Let's see. It's going a little fast, huh? Awesome. I think, is there anything else I wanted to bring up with all this stuff? Yeah, I kind of missed a couple of things I was going to show you, but we'll talk about it next time. Let's see. I have my cool shot. I have my dog snoring. He's not paying attention to the camera. Not cool. Yeah, the new moon before the right, the new eclipse, right? The new moon just before the eclipse. Yes, H. Anderson says yes. We had a new moon at the same time as an eclipse. Has this ever happened before? I don't think so. It doesn't even make sense to me how that can be. There was a lot of weirdness going on with that. I don't even know. I'm not here to suggest anything. I'm not a flat earther. I'm a no earther. There's no earth. There's only the dream of earth. That's all there is. But it's intriguing, all the weirdness, right? Very, very intriguing. Lady Spellbreaker's 43. You're a baby. You're a baby. But you love psychedelics, and we definitely are on the same page there. Yes, can you guys hear it in my voice that sleep is needed? For some reason, I've just been super tired lately. I been staying up really late at night for no reason. I was up the other night working on music till 7:30 in the morning. I got a phone call in the morning. And when I answered the text, I realized it was 7:30 in the morning. I was in this room, which has no windows. So it's easy to lose time in here. And I was working on music, and 7:30 hit, and I was like, oh, geez, I probably should go to bed. So... So I want to thank you guys very much for attending. And I also wanted to share a couple things with you, too. I've started this new thing. It happened spur of the moment last weekend, which is what I do is, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I've been performing Reiki on the songs for Phi Tribe for a number of years now. So when I'm creating new music for Phi Tribe, the music is it goes through from a digital state into an analog state and then back to a digital state. And then during that process, I feel it's in this very chaotic place of uncertainty. It's a place where divinity can kind of put its spark into the music. So because I look at things that way, I've performed Reiki on a lot of the sleep and meditation songs on Phi Tribe for a number of years, and I definitely think that there's something to why all of those songs are so popular. Again, celebrating Third Eye hitting 10 million views this week, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm very, very happy and excited about that, and thank you guys very much for all the support on that. 10 million views is definitely something, I don't know, it's pretty impressive. So thank you very much for that. But what I've been doing is Reiki on this music. And last Sunday, as a spur of the moment, I kind of got this inkling to include all of you in on this on the Reiki blessing of the music. And we had 18 people show up. And out of the 18 people, 12 people were on for the complete duration of the program, which was almost an hour and a half. And what we did is we just basically said a little prayer beforehand, and we all got our intention together, and we sent our intention of love into the music. And if you're unfamiliar with Reiki, that probably sounds really, really hokey to you. And need I remind you that I was once a very, very proud atheist. So all of that stuff sounded very, very hokey to me. But I have since come to understand a lot of it, and I find it very, very real. And I became a Reiki 3 practitioner 2011. So I've been doing it for a long, long time. And I can attest a lot of really amazing aspects to it. So needless to say, I've been putting Reiki on the music. And last Sunday, I had a lot of you guys enjoy me. But I have a vision here of how we can spread this. Like, how cool would it be if we can get thousands of people online to send their energy into this music all at once? So even if we're just praying over the music, right? Reiki is like prayers, but with a little bit more intention. But what if we got thousands of people to put their positive, loving spin and energy onto the music, and then other people would listen to that music and would receive that energy, because love is transcendent of time and space. It's only powered by intention. So if our intention is to infuse the music with love and peace and kindness into the music. And our intention is that whoever listens to the music receives that love and peace. And there's a truth there that that's going to happen. And I can get into the quantum mechanics of that. I can get into the Dr. Robert John studies. He had a variety of studies on this kind of stuff with group meditation over the course of many, many years. And he proved unequivocally that when 1,000 people got together to meditate, they were able to lower crime in a certain city just by meditation alone. And he did it over and over and over again. He did it enough times that all of the major universities had to take him serious at that point. So on a different type of scale, that's what I would like to do here. And I don't know of anybody really doing this. So how cool would it be to start something here? But I'd love to get your all's help to join me tomorrow night to bless the new music with Reiki and send that loving intention into the music so that we can spread this gift of love to the entire world. And, I love to think and dream really big, but what if we had, 1 million people doing it? So that kind of stuff gives me goosebumps, and I'm really, really excited. I don't know where it's going to go yet, but I'm dreaming right now, and that seems to be the big dream that I'm going for, and I would love to have you all with me for that. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, join me tomorrow night. Probably do it around 9:00 p.m. and we will do it. Maybe the night. I'll just keep it at 10. 10 seems to be a good time for you guys, and we'll do a new song. I have a new song that I'm going to do tomorrow. I was contacted by somebody who was dealing with severe OCD and asked if I could make some music to help with OCD. And I did a bunch of research and found a couple of very, very prominent scientific studies, and I found which frequencies work the best to ease the suffering of OCD. So that's what tomorrow night's song is for. It is to help people to ease the suffering of OCD. So if you'd like to come and be a part of that, I would love to have you. And you don't have to know anything. I'll definitely just tell you what we need to do, and we'll say a little prayer, and then we'll get it going. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm on New York time. I'm based in Atlanta. So if you can be here, that'd be awesome. And again, remember that time and space, love is transcendent of time and space. So if you can't be here for the live, and you could just do it when it's not live, you're still infusing it with your love, because the intention is all that matters, right? So, that's the big idea, and I'm happy to share that with you guys. And I'm excited to have you guys all in. So, how are you guys doing? Before I leave, does anybody have any questions? Do you have anything you want me to answer or mention? And I'll be happy to do it. Boy, we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. Yes, hit the notification bell, and you guys will be right here. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you very, very much. I love you all very, very much. And thank you for all of the support on Phi Tribe. And thank you for all the support here. This channel is growing so fast. It's absolutely incredible. So I thank you so much for that. And you're really making this a fun ride for me. So I hope I'm doing the same for you. So that's it for tonight. I love you all. Have a beautiful night. Sleep dreams and sleep well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.